You're sitting in your car, engine off, hands still on the steering wheel, just staring. The dealership lights are still in your head. The numbers they showed you keep replaying again and again. You said yes to the test drive. You smiled. You even imagined yourself owning it. But now, alone, the excitement is fading and the math is getting louder. $900 a month, insurance on top, fuel, maintenance, and you keep telling yourself it's manageable. I deserve this. But there's this quiet discomfort you can't ignore, because deep down, you know this isn't just a car decision. This is a life decision. Why millionaires choose Honda over BMW? It's not what you think. My name is Scott, and I spend way too much time thinking about how people who genuinely want financial freedom keep making decisions that slowly take it away from them without even realizing it. If you're someone who's trying to build something real, but keeps getting pulled toward things that look successful instead of things that actually create success, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Here's the thing, and I need you to really hear this. Millionaires don't drive Honda because they're trying to save a few dollars. That's the surface level explanation. That's what people say because it sounds simple. But the real reason? It's deeper, it's uncomfortable, and it completely changes how you see money. Because millionaires don't look at a BMW and think, can I afford this? They look at it and think, what is this going to cost me over the next 10, 20, 30 years of my life? And that question alone puts them in a completely different category of thinking. Now look, let's walk into that dealership again, but this time slowly. You see the BMW sitting there, shining under perfect lights. Everything about it is engineered to trigger something inside you. The design, the brand, the way people react when they see it. It's not just transportation, it's identity. You sit inside, and for a moment, your entire self-image shifts. You feel ahead. You feel respected. You feel like you've crossed some invisible line. And this is the exact moment where most people lose control, not because they're bad with money, but because they're human, because they confuse a temporary emotional upgrade with a permanent life upgrade. That BMW, let's say it costs $80,000. A Honda right next to it, around $35,000. So the difference is about $45,000. And your brain immediately tries to shrink that number. It tells you, relax, it's just a few hundred more per month. That's how the brain protects you from feeling overwhelmed. But that's also how it tricks you into long-term decisions that don't make sense. Millionaires don't shrink numbers. They expand them. They take that $45,000 and stretch it across time. At 8% annual returns, that $45,000 becomes roughly $97,000 in 10 years, over $200,000 in 20 years. And nearly $450,000 in 30 years. That's not a small difference anymore. That's $500,000. And here's the part nobody talks about. You don't feel that loss immediately. You don't wake up tomorrow and see $450,000 disappear. That loss is silent. It happens slowly, quietly, in the background of your life. And that's why it's dangerous. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I want to enjoy my life. And you should, but here's what most people misunderstand about enjoyment. They think it comes from what they buy, but real enjoyment comes from what you don't have to worry about. There's a massive difference between driving a nice car and sleeping peacefully at night, knowing you're financially secure. One is visible, the other is felt, and millionaires choose what is felt over what is seen. This is where it gets really interesting. Because the Honda versus BMW decision has nothing to do with cars. It has everything to do with identity. Most people buy things to become someone. Millionaires become someone first, and then their purchases follow. That order changes everything. When you buy a BMW too early, you're not just spending money. You're locking yourself into a higher lifestyle. Your monthly obligations increase. Your flexibility decreases. Suddenly, your job isn't just your job. It becomes your lifeline. You can't take risks. You can't walk away. You can't slow down. That one decision quietly controls your future decisions. And this is the part that hits hard, because nobody warns you about it. They just tell you, if you can afford the monthly payment, go for it. But affordability isn't the same as alignment. Just because you can pay for something doesn't mean it's helping you become the person you actually want to be. Let me give you another angle. Two people earn the same amount of money. One chooses the BMW, the other chooses the Honda. The BMW owner pays around $900 a month. The Honda owner pays around $400. That $500 difference doesn't feel life-changing at first, but invested consistently at 8%, that $500 grows into around $90,000 in 10 years, $300,000 in 20 years, and over $750,000 in 30 years. $750,000 from one decision. Now here's the twist that most people miss. The BMW driver looks successful immediately. The Honda driver doesn't. But 10, 15, 20 years later, the roles reverse. One is still working to maintain a lifestyle. The other has built a system that supports their life. And that's the difference between looking rich and being rich. Here's something even deeper. The desire for the BMW isn't really about the car. It's about validation. It's about being seen. It's about proving something. Maybe to others, maybe to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. But when that desire drives your financial decisions, it becomes expensive. Very expensive. Because the truth is, people aren't paying as much attention as you think. They see your car, they think nice, and then they move on with their day. That's it. That's the entire return on your investment in status. A few seconds of attention, and in exchange, you give up years of financial growth. Millionaires understand this game. That's why they don't rush into expensive lifestyles. They delay it. They build first. They invest first. They create income streams first. So when they eventually buy the BMW, it doesn't change their life. It doesn't create stress. It doesn't require sacrifice. It's just a small reward, not a heavy burden. Think of your financial life like building a machine. In the beginning, every dollar you have is a worker, and those workers are trying to build something for you. A system that generates income, security, and options. But when you spend too much too early, you're removing those workers before they can finish the job. Millionaires protect those early workers. They let them build. They let them grow. And once the machine is strong enough, they can take as much as they want from it without breaking it. That's why choosing a Honda isn't about sacrifice. It's about strategy. It's about understanding timing. It's about knowing that what you delay today can multiply tomorrow. So next time you're about to make a big purchase, don't ask yourself, "Can I afford this?" That question is too weak. It doesn't force clarity. Ask yourself, what is this costing my future? Because that question exposes the truth. It forces you to see beyond the moment. And listen, this isn't about never enjoying life. It's about enjoying life without pressure, without stress, without being trapped by your own lifestyle. Because the moment your expenses start controlling your decisions, you lose the very freedom you were trying to buy in the first place. So, yeah, millionaires choosing Honda over BMW. It's not about being boring. It's not about being cheap. It's about understanding leverage, timing, psychology, and long-term thinking at a level most people never reach. It's about playing a different game, a quieter game, a slower game, but a game that actually works. And once you start seeing it this way, everything changes. Because now you're not just choosing between two cars. You're choosing between two futures.